Morning, friends. I just want to talk with you really quickly about our project. Unfortunately, since we had the storyteller this Wednesday, I was not able to see you in art, but it's super important that we finish your butterflies because this is actually going to be your artwork that is in the art show for this year. If you remember last year in kindergarten, if you were in school here, every single person had one piece of art and it hung outside of your teacher's door. So this year, you guys are going to use the monarch butterfly prints that we did. And after you finish them, I'm going to staple them together, make them look really nice, and they're going to hang outside of Miss Lay's door. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday on May 9th, this upcoming Thursday, from 6 o'clock to 7:30, you can bring your friends and family, and you can come and see your artwork, but also artwork for every student in our building. Kindergarten up through 5th grade, every single person has one piece of art that they have chosen for the art show. So if you would like to come that night, you can walk around the whole school, look at all the art. Also at that night, starting at 6 o'clock, Miss Slimp, our music teacher, is having a 5th grade concert, and it is really, really good. So if you know any 5th graders from this year, or if you just want to come and see the concert, you and your family are welcome to do that. I'm going to be sending some flyers home with you just to remind you about the art show and to give you more information. But this today is what we're going to work on. So this is one that I have already finished. I looked at a monarch butterfly for my inspiration for this one. Monarch butterflies normally have a lot of oranges, some yellows, some red oranges in them. Whenever you do your butterfly though, you don't have to use the same colors that I'm using. You can mix and match and make your own colors. If you remember last week when we printed your monarch butterflies, we talked about a fancy word called symmetry. Symmetry just means on my crease, right down the middle, my butterfly is the same on both sides. You all created symmetry by closing your paper, rubbing it, and getting a print. If you look at a real butterfly in real life, they also have symmetry in their colors. So for instance, on this one that I've already done, I colored this section yellow on this side, but I also did the same thing on that side. I colored the top part, that red-orange on this side, and I did the same thing on this side. So if you really want to make your butterfly look realistic, you can add even more symmetry to it and color both sides, both sections on each side, the same color. Now, if you remember last week, I mentioned painting these instead of coloring them, but when I painted my own butterfly as an example, it accidentally covered up all the black and you couldn't see the butterfly anymore, so it was really disappointing. So instead of painting these, I decided that every class should just color them because I thought it would turn out a lot nicer and it wouldn't cover up our butterfly print. I noticed someone in another class, if you have a lot of white space on your print, you can always get a black crayon and go back over and kind of color those spots in if you would like. Here's one more tip before you get started. Whenever you do your background, and yes, you have to do your background, you don't have to do it blue like I did. I've seen some people add grass and flowers and other butterflies in their background, so you can be as creative as you want with this. Here's a tip though, when you start coloring your background. If you can find a crayon that does not have a wrapper on it, and if you will hold it on its side, and instead of coloring, if you will rub your background, it's going to go a lot faster for you and your arm won't get as tired. You don't have to do this way if you don't want to, but that's just a tip from your art teacher of how to make it go a little bit quicker if you do a crayon rubbing, just holding on its side, instead of spending all that time coloring it. Because yes, you do have to give it a background. You can even layer your colors if you want. Like I might go back in with green and make it look really cool that way. All right, friends, remember, this is going to be in the art show. So when you're coloring, check to be sure you don't have any white spaces in your coloring. Do your best, take your time, and then I'll get to hang these up for the art show next Thursday.